Welcome back to the Ruth and Natalie Show. So I know it's been like forever since we've done a video, and I'm really sorry that it's been such a long time. Since the school year is starting to come to a close, it's obviously exam time, and exams are super stressful, especially if you've never done them before. So today, I thought I would give you some advice for taking the exams, how to survive exams. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel for more videos. Don't forget to check out our new website. The link for that is in the description box below. And all the material that I talk about, all the tips I talk about in this video, I wrote a blog post about, and that is also in the description box. So you should be sure to check that out. And let's get on to the video.
So I don't know about you guys, but I like to be in comfortable clothes when I'm studying. So the first step is to get into your sweatpants or comfortable clothing. Next, you're going to want to gather your materials. So for me, that'd be my MacBook Pro, my agenda. I like to light candles when I'm studying, my notes, highlighters, and of course some Starbucks. So one of the most repeated pieces of advice you'll hear is to not cram the night before, and it's so true. If you try to study a whole semester's worth of material the night before the exam, it's not going to go well for you. So even a few weeks before the exam, just start gathering up your tests, looking over material, asking teachers questions. All those things are great things to do. Now, sometimes your teachers will actually make study guides for you for the exam, and that's super helpful. But don't go into it expecting that the teachers are going to give you a study guide and then freak out when they don't. So if they don't give you a study guide, then you can go ahead and make your own by looking over tests. For me, I like to replicate questions that I think might be on the exam, and that's always helpful. But also with the study guide, don't wait to make the study guide. If you're like, okay, I'm going to write up a study guide, don't wait 2 days before the exam. Try to do that on the early side so that you have more time to study that study guide that you made for yourself. Just find out what works best for you and study hard. Now, a lot of people think they need to study for 3 hours straight to do well on the exam. And it's true that you need to be willing to put in a lot of hours if you want to do well, but at the same time, you don't want to be doing a straight shot of 3 hours of studying with no breaks. Breaks are great to just give your mind a little bit of time to recharge and refocus on the task at hand. So some people's break would be checking social media, going to get a snack, using the bathroom, all those little things that you need to do in between studying sessions. Just be sure to not let your breaks go too long, otherwise you will get distracted and you won't be on task. So during exam week, be sure to get lots and lots of sleep. Even though you might be staying up late studying, try your best to get to bed early because you'll be able to focus better if you have lots of sleep. With all the work and focus that your mind is needing, you'll need lots of sleep to help you rejuvenate and be refreshed for the test. The morning of exams, be sure to stick to your schedule and get up on time, because if you're stressed out in the morning, chances are you'll be stressed out on the exam as well. So the morning of exams, just try to relax and remember that you study hard. Be sure to get a good breakfast so that you have energy for the day, and maybe even listen to some music to get you pumped up for your busy day. You can even grab a last-minute note card to look over those questions that you struggle with, but above all, try to relax and remember you're going to do just fine. Also, grab a jacket before you go to school because sometimes the room you take the test in is like freezing, and for me personally, it distracts me if I'm uncomfortable. So just grabbing a jacket or even a blanket to try to stay nice and toasty is a good idea.
So when the day of your exam comes, just be sure to relax, stay calm, take a deep breath, and just let those nerves out. Stay focused. Just try not to get too stressed out, because if you're super stressed, then it's just gonna be crazy and it's not gonna go well. So just try to stay calm and do whatever you need to do to just help you stay calm. When you've started your exam, just be sure to keep track of time. Probably the biggest thing I struggle with is keeping track of time. I have a tendency to spend too much time on one question, and then I'm like, uh-oh, we've got 10 minutes left and I'm on the first page or whatever. I mean, I don't think it's ever been that extreme, but just saying, like, I struggle with just keeping track of time and making sure I'm moving along. So be sure to either have a watch with you, or if there's a clock, be sure you know where the clock is in your exam room, and just be sure to frequently check it. Not too obsessively, because then that's going to distract you, but just make sure you know, okay, I've got half an hour left. Okay, I need to spend this much time on this problem, and if I can't get it, I just need to keep moving on. And once you run into a problem that you're like, okay, I don't know what to do with this, just circle it and then keep moving on, and then come back later on and try to work through that problem. So, also, beware of trick questions. Some teachers, you can even know based on the tests you've taken all year whether or not that teacher is gonna throw in some curves, or if they may have even told you before the exam, don't worry, there's nothing that's gonna trick you on this. But some teachers will. Like, for example, on one of my quizzes a few months ago, there was a section, it was like all falses for some reason, and as I was taking the quiz, I was like, okay, why would this all be false? And I wanted to be like, well, I must have just done it wrong or something, and I thought about changing it, but then I was like, well, I feel like all these answers are false, so I'm just going to go ahead and be false with all of them, and sure enough, I got all those right. So, and a lot of people had decided to change it on that quiz because they thought the same thing as me. So just, my advice is go with your first impression. I know that can be hard sometimes when you're like, wait, I think it's this one. But for the most part, I would say just try to go with your first guess. That's just my opinion. Also, another thing I really struggle with is getting stressed out by others. I like to take my time on the quiz and on the exam, and as I told you, sometimes I run out of time. But a lot of people around me they're finishing their exam, and I'm like, okay, how are they done? I'm in the middle of this exam, like I'm not even close to being finished. And then that causes me to be stressed, and I keep looking and thinking, okay, everyone's done except for me, and that stresses me out, and I'm like, why am I not done yet? And everyone's sitting there staring at you, waiting for you to be done, and it's just super stressful. So this is advice to myself, just don't stress out about other people, because then that's just gonna make everything worse. So just try to avoid being distracted by others. Don't look around if you know that it's gonna stress you out to know everyone's finished. Just don't look up and keep taking your test. Another thing is, if that is an issue for you, maybe sit in the front of the room. That way you can just have the wall right in front of you instead of being at the back where you can see everyone. Which sometimes being at the back could be nice because then the other people don't know that you're still taking it, but at the same time, it's just better to be in the front of the room. That way you can't just easily see everyone else. So stay focused. Stay focused while you're taking the exam. It's super easy to be like, okay, you just kind of daydream like, okay, it's almost summertime, we're going on vacation, it's almost summer break, and then you're just thinking about all the exciting things you're going to do. But then obviously that causes problems if you zone out, because then you're like, okay, I'm in the middle of this exam, and then it's just distracting. So just be careful to stay focused, just keep going, stay determined to just stay focused on your exam. If you have 10-15 minutes left on the exam, it's great to go and read through the directions, read through everything. That way you are completely sure that that's the answer that you want. Which, be careful, because sometimes you'll come to that one that you're like, oh, I don't know, and then you decide to change the answer, and then your first answer was right. So some of those questionable ones, I personally just like to leave it to be like, okay, that's what I answered, and I think I'm going to go with that. But for the most part, even just checking to make sure, okay, is this asking for one answer or two? Because sometimes they say select two, and you didn't notice that. So just making sure you're reading the directions, reading through all your answers, making sure you have everything written down that you want, and then you'll be good to go. I hope you guys found this advice to be helpful. Good luck on your exams this year. We're going into the next week, so it's coming by so fast, and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm going to try to use the advice that I gave you guys. I'm going to remind myself that. So I hope that advice was helpful, and if it was, don't forget to, again, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends if you want to also give them some advice, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.